Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Dustin Carroll.
And I'm Danielle Percival. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Sports. The Trojan softball team had suffered 3 straight losses entering a weekend contest against Florida International. And on Saturday, they extended that streak to 4 losses, falling to the Golden Panthers 6-4 in the first game of a doubleheader. The Trojans gave up 5 runs in the first inning and had a comeback, but fell short. However, in the second game of the day, the Trojans picked up a win 6-5 and did it again coming from behind. The Trojans were up early, but FIU had another 5-run inning, this time in the 5th, to put them up. But the Trojans completed the comeback this time around and got the win. And as Courtney Addison shows us, their success continued on Sunday.
The Troy softball team got off to a slow start Sunday afternoon as they took on the FIU Golden Panthers, allowing bases loaded in the first inning. Fortunately, the Trojans were able to get out of a bind not only once, but twice.
When they got runners on base, especially in the first and third innings, first inning the bases were loaded with no one out. We had good pitching and good defense to get out of it.
The freshman duo worked together to pull out the win for Troy. J.C. Felt got the start on the mound, but was relieved by Ashley Rainey in the 5th inning. The 2 pitchers also led the team at the plate. Rainey got things started with a solo home run, and Felt followed with a grand slam.
But fortunately, the couple hits that we got were with runners on, big home runs by our 2 freshmen, Rainey to get the first run on the board, and then JC with 4 big RBIs with a grand slam. So I think over and all, the biggest thing that we did today was when we put runners on today, we did capitalize in a big way. It helps with that one swing of the bat with the home run.
And luck might not always be on the Trojan side, but in Sunday's game, Troy was finally able to beat the odds.
The softball gods were smiling on us for us to finally, we've hit more solo home runs, I think, than any team in America, so to hit one with the bases loaded, that was a big thing. And then, of course, to get out of those couple of jams.
Courtney Addison, Trojan Sports Now.
Then on Tuesday night, the Trojans traveled to Birmingham for the first of 2 games from the Trojans from the Magic City. Baseball was also in town, but we'll get into that in just a minute. After 6 innings of a scoreless game, an unusual play gave UAB the victory over the Trojan softball team Tuesday. The Trojans fell 1-0 to the Blazers, and that lone run came in the bottom of the 6th when, with the bases loaded, after a strikeout, the ball was returned to Trojan pitcher Ashley Rainey, but she was ruled to be out of the pitcher's circle, and the runner on third advanced to home, giving UAB the only run they needed to win. Rainey finished with 7 strikeouts in a complete game effort and with an intentional walk and 5 hits.
After having difficulty with one Arkansas school last week, the Trojan baseball team was hoping for some natural state redemption. But as Taylor Burke shows us, they had no such luck.
The Trojan baseball team returned home this weekend for its first Sunbelt Series of the year at Riddle Pace Field. T-Ray Friday is normally about the pitching from the Trojans, but this time around it was about the bats. Trailing by 6 runs in the 7th inning, with the rain coming down, Troy rallied to score 2 runs in the 7th and 5 runs in the 8th inning to claim Game 1 of the series, 7-6.
We came back, got that game tied, and then took the lead, so kind of stole one on Friday night and got great pitching out of the bullpen and got some big at-bats throughout the game to finally take the lead.
In Game 2, the lead changed hands 5 times in the first 6 innings of the ball game. But once the Red Wolves got into the Trojans' tired bullpen, they knocked in 9 runs in the final 2 innings of play to take Game 2 16-8.
We just didn't really pitch well the entire game. Had a couple of stops there, but not enough. And then late in the game kind of got away from us, but we did get 14 hits and scored 8 runs. What you would, kind of think or expect might be enough to win a conference game. Wasn't enough on Saturday. They really swing the bats well, scored a lot of runs.
Championship Sunday began with Arkansas State taking a 4-run lead. However, the 6th inning saw the Trojans tie up the game thanks to home runs by Danny Collins and Joel Bennett. The excitement was short-lived when the Red Wolves scored a run in the top of the 7th to hang on and take the series from Troy 5-4.
We made a rally there, got the game tied. Felt pretty good at that time, really, because we were down 4, and to get that game tied, you think the momentum would shift and be in our favor. They came back and put a run on the board, and then we couldn't score again. Had a couple opportunities. Probably the part that we need to correct from today was the unearned runs. We gave up 2 or 3 of those, and in a close, hard-fought, series on the line type game, you just got to make those plays.
Taylor Burke, Trojan Sports Now.
Coming off 2 straight losses, the Trojans were looking to rebound in Birmingham against the UAB Blazers. They had already lost to the Blazers 9-7 in Troy, and the Magic City wasn't much kinder to them. It was nothing short of an interesting ending for the Trojans as UAB scored 3 runs in the 8th inning, including the game winner on a squeezed bunt to defeat Troy 4-3 Tuesday night in Birmingham. The Trojans carried a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning, but the 3 runs from the Blazers were enough to seal the deal and grab the win late. Joe Hernandez took a no decision for the Trojans after ending the 8th inning in line for the victory. He scattered 3 hits over 4 innings, allowing just 1 run. Tyson Workman took the loss with a 1 earned run on 1 hit in 2/3 of an inning.
March Madness is officially over, so in my opinion, let's go ahead and gear up for football. I know baseball and softball are in season, and we certainly aren't forgetting about them, but let's break out the coolers and grills and get ready to tailgate. While my favorite time of the year is still a couple months away, that being football season, Trojan fans got a little taste of what's to come at the annual T-Day game this past Saturday. And it was a close game as the white team beat the Cardinal 34-31. 3 different quarterbacks threw for touchdowns in the game, and running back DJ Taylor accounted for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Coming up later in the show, we'll give you a full breakdown of the Trojan football team and how spring practice is going so far.
After a month away from competition, the Trojan Spurs competed in the Arkansas Monticello Boll Weevil Stampede this past weekend. As a unit, the women's team finished 5th with 95 points, and the men's team finished 8th with 80 points. The women had multiple individual top 5 finishes, including Cassidy Allridge with the 3rd overall average time in the breakaway roping, and Jose Owens finished in the 4th in the barrel racing competition. The Trojan Spurs' next action comes April the 12th through the 14th when they travel to Martin, Tennessee to take part in the UT Martin Rodeo.
The track and field team continued their success this weekend at the Jaguar Invitational with a few more first-place finishes. Peyton McGee placed first in the men's 100 and 200 meters. Larry Henry placed first in the men's high jump with a distance of 2.13 meters. And Jasmine Patton finished first in the 100-meter hurdles for the women, while Thaddeus Curtis finished first in the men's 110-meter hurdles. The Trojans brought home first place in the women's long jump as Christina Barrett finished in first with a distance of 5.49 meters.
The Trojan men's golf team was led by senior Ricky Casco at the Arkansas Red Wolf Intercollegiate, where they placed 4th as a team. The big story for the Trojans was Casco's performance on Monday. Casco ended the day tied for first with a 1 over par 72 first round and improved to 4 under par with 6 birdies in the second round. Casco was just 1 shot away from being in a tie for first place and heading to a playoff with 4 other players. Instead, Casco finished in 5th place. He finished with a 210 through all 3 rounds. Tolzer Dulver was the second highest finisher for Troy with a 216, good for 15th place. The Trojans finished with a 3rd round score of 871.
The Troy men's tennis team traveled to Murfreesboro for the Sun Belt Shootout this past weekend and split the matches they competed in. They fell Saturday to Georgia State 4-1. The Trojans took the doubles point before falling in all singles matches that were completed. On Sunday, the Trojans rebounded and won against Austin P 4-3 in a match that took 5 hours to complete. Just an hour after that, they had to take the court again against Florida Atlantic. However, the Trojans lost that match in another close one 4-3. The men's team ended the weekend with a 4-14 overall record this year. The women sit at 8-6 on the year, but their only match this weekend was canceled. They were scheduled to face South Alabama on Wednesday in Mobile.
Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll look ahead to baseball in Miami and softball in Kentucky.
But first, it's never too early to talk football, so let's do it. I'll bring you a recap of last season, T-Day, and a preview of what the Trojans will bring to the table this season. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.
Trojan Sports Now.